Hello, welcome to Body Structure and Function at Western Technical College with Isaiah Foster. For this introduction review of the course, we're going to cover the syllabus as well as a brief overview of the Blackboard site. So if you want to pull up your syllabus here, you can follow along. There will be a small syllabus quiz associated with this, which I'll show you where you can find that as we navigate through Blackboard here. So we'll start out with some logistical information here. My name is Isaiah Foster. I'll be your instructor for this term. My email address is there and my phone number as well, along with my office location, which is on the third floor of the building. I do have some office hours, but they do vary every semester, so I typically don't put in the actual office hours, but I usually can meet at any time anybody would like. Being that this is a fully online course, it's going to be much faster and easier for you to email me. But feel free to set up a face-to-face meeting, a phone conversation, or by email. Our dates are running from January 7th until April 19th, and this is 100% fully online course for both the lecture and the lab, meaning you do not come into the college to take anything, and it is a 15-week online course. It is a 3-credit course. We do have some prerequisites here, but obviously if you didn't meet those, you wouldn't be in this course. Our textbook is The Essentials of Human Anatomy and Physiology, the 12th edition, and you also, being that this is an online course, do need the Pearson access card as well. And when you do buy a book, a brand new book, it does come with the access card. The access card should be in the back of the book. If you're buying used, then you're going to need to find the access card and make sure that you're buying the correct access card. Pearson has a number of different access cards for different books, so just because you have an access card doesn't mean that it's the appropriate one for this course, so be aware of that. The college has some success abilities, if you will. You can see them here. I won't go into all of those, being that this is an online course, but I will say that, obviously, to demonstrate ability to think critically is really important, and then also taking these social and natural science theories that we're talking about and applying them, and also good communication skills. If you're having problems, email me or talk to me about that. And then obviously, being this is a fully online course, technology is really important in making sure you have a good browser, a good computer, a good internet connection, things like that. We have some course competencies here. You can read them on your own. Basically, these are the big topics that we'll be covering throughout the course here. This is an alternative learning format, which means that we are fully 100% online, as you can see right there. And so we don't meet face-to-face, so it is your accountability to make sure that you're logging in and completing the work on time. I'll show you basically how I have all that set up. And in regards to an online format, as you know, it's 100% fully online. It's very important that you are responsible for understanding internet, typing, emailing, PowerPoint, Word, and Blackboard as well. If you're having any computer internet hassles, it will not be accepted as an excuse for problems with your quizzes or lack of knowledge about the course or completing the course. There are alternatives if you're having problems with your internet access to come to college and use their internet access. A public access such as a public library or things like that are certainly an option. Being we're online, one of the best ways to communicate with you, I should say, is your Western student email account. So make sure that you have that active and that it's ready to go, because I do send out weekly announcements as well as may have to communicate via email with you as well. So it is important to check those announcements quite often because I do post one for every unit, and usually it's a video announcement just kind of talking to you a little bit about what is due for this unit and whatnot. Our grading policy here, in order to count towards your program, you need to have a C or better, so 70% or better is what you need to count towards your program. Anything less than 70% will not be accepted for your program. If you do have to repeat this course, we do not offer it in the summer. We only offer it in the fall and in the spring term. And so if you are repeating this course for some reason a third time, which I've never had, but in case you are, you would need to get a dean's approval for that. Makeup policy, there are no retakes on anything, so if you do poorly on something, unfortunately you're left with that grade. You do have one makeup exam for both lab and lecture, or any of the assignments. Excuse me, there are no makeups for late assignments or quizzes, but for the exams such as lecture and lab, you can have a makeup. You do need to complete that within 1 week of the scheduled time frame. Students' responsibility, attend, be on time, I guess more so making sure you're logging in, obviously, on a more frequent basis. Contact me whenever you're having difficulties. Take all exams on time. Abide by the student code of conduct and the academic honesty policy. And again, more importantly, have an active email account as well. So being that we're not face-to-face, usually we don't have any student code of conduct issues or disruptions. I will just say that, be professional. I treat you as a professional. I expect to be treated as a professional as well. So if you're having difficulties with something, let's talk about it instead of sending a rude email or something like that. I've never had that happen, but certainly not out of the question, I guess. So academic, these are kind of things that you can read along on your own, but academic dishonesty definitions here, obviously with cheating and plagiarism and unauthorized collaboration with people or having other people do your work, and things like that, I think is something that you need to be aware of, because that is going against the college's policies, not only the classroom policies as well. Integrity procedure, we ensure a fair and timely resolution to any academic integrity allegation. Everything is implemented at a course level, and then it kind of moves up to a college level. So you can see that here, and there's the college level process as well. So if we're having any difficulties with anything, that's kind of where it goes from a course standpoint to a college standpoint. Western student withdrawal policy, I do not withdraw you from the course. So if you decide that you, for some reason, are no longer going to participate in the course, it's your job to withdraw. If you do not withdraw, I am obviously obligated to give you the grade that you were left with, and so just make sure that if you decide that you're going to withdraw or drop the course, that you do so through the Welcome Center here at Western. Western's attendance non-emergent excused absence policy. Students are expected to attend a class on all time. Again, we're not going to drop you. However, the college reserves the right to drop a student for attendance-related issues at any time during the semester, so I'm not going to do it, but certainly the college could certainly do that. And just got to be aware of that. If you have a disability, we do have the Western's Americans with Disabilities Act statement here, and you can get connected with them. Here's their phone number, so if you need extra time on something, you do have to have a documented disability, but they can certainly help you out with that. And being that you're not on campus, I don't think you're going to have to worry about the tobacco-free policy. And that's kind of a really quick review of our syllabus. If you go to our Blackboard site, it's still under construction right now. You'll probably see more on this when you do arrive here at the time. I'm making this video a couple weeks before you start here. But this is our announcement page, and this is where I'm going to create unit announcements, if you will, more than likely in a video form, so you can see me and hear what I have to say. Under the assignment tab right here, these are all the different lectures that we're going to go through, and you will only be able to see one of them at a time. And so here's where you're going to find your syllabus quiz here. If you go in here, this will be available for you to take. It is not timed. None of the assignments are timed, or quizzes or exams are timed here, but this will pop up, and it's 5 points. It's going over this video and the syllabus. And then you have your Unit 1. This is both for lecture and lab materials. So our first unit is going from January 7th to January 20th. Everything is due by midnight on that very last day of January 20th here. If you go into this tab, you'll see your lecture materials here and your lab materials here. So they are separated. They're not together. So if you go into lecture, you will see here there is a video with a PowerPoint on the system. There is a Pearson Mastering A&P, so you will have to have that access card in order to access your homework here. We do have a couple other homework assignments here, and then you have your exam. And again, this is not timed. If we go back, this is your lab material, so it has the same kind of setup. You have your lab packet right here, so every unit will have their own little lab packet, and this is what you want to be following when you watch the video here. And then again, there is another assignment. You will not see this lab quiz. I took the lab quizzes out, but you will see the lab exam there. Okay, so that's pretty much the same setup you get for every single week, or every single unit, I should say. Some units are 2 weeks long, some units are only 1 week long, so just kind of be aware of that. In fact, since we're talking about that, let's go down to the Syllabus and Schedule tab right here, and you'll notice this is where you access your syllabus, and then here's a lecture and lab schedule. I'm going to pull that up right here, and so this is telling you what we're reviewing in lab, what we're reviewing in lecture, and the dates. So this is kind of this is your schedule. This is what you should be following and know when your things are due. I basically open up a unit for either 1 or 2 weeks long, depending on the unit and how much information is there, and you have that full time to get all of that done. Again, everything is due by midnight the last day of the unit. So you can see we kind of go through all of these, and for the most part, not always, but for the most part, the lab and the lecture coincide. So things we're talking about in lab are usually things we're talking about in lecture, but not always. You know, there are a couple little discrepancies, but for the most part, it should be very much corresponding with one another. Contact information here. If you need to get a hold of me, you can get there. Computer Services, Learning Commons, if you're having trouble and need to talk to a tutor. Library services, if you need to check out a laptop. Let's say your computer is on the fritz and you need to somehow access your course. They do rent out laptops there, so you can certainly contact them. And the Welcome Center here as well, and you can see that we have the Disability Service link, enrollment at financial aid, counseling, so on and so forth. Okay. So this really kind of summarizes it. Additional lab supplements, I guess we have a couple of these. These are just like pictures and stuff you can print out and label. You'll be seeing some microscopic images. These are kind of nice to look at. We have some additional websites that I find helpful for the course as well if you need to use them. The course objectives here, these are the more specific objectives that I'm teaching in this course that I'm basically going to be testing you on. But again, just a reminder, everything is, none of the assessments are timed, okay? So it shouldn't be any reason why you can't do rather decent on these exams. I will say, though, it's probably important that you do watch the video, though, because you're going to spend more time going back watching the video than you would if you just did it the first time. So this is where we're at. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. The biggest things right now are to get your book and your access card and get online with the Pearson Access card so that you don't fall behind with that. And you guys can go ahead and start working on the syllabus quiz and begin starting on the lecture and lab materials for Unit 1. Thank you. I look forward to working with all of you.